What's up, guys? My name is Ted Darklaw, and with me, as always, is the Black Knight. We are the co-owners of Hello Dope Toys, HelloDopeToys.com, and this show do be Hello Dope. Aaron, how the hell you doing?
Before we get into the things, do you mind if I speak on something for a minute?
Yeah, speak on this.
Thank you. I want to personally take a minute to thank all of you for the kind words and sentiments over the last couple days. As you know, I lost my brother, and we're still dealing with that part of it. But thank you so much for all the support and prayers, and just all the amazing words that you guys have sent. For some of those who have also helped donate to the GoFundMe that we had, thank you so much. We did reach our goal, so we are able to do a proper funeral for him. So thank you so much, everyone, for my sister and the rest of my family. Thank you so much. We love you all. Bottom of my heart, honestly. But the show must go on, as my brother would always say. Ted, outside of that, man, I'm doing good, man. We went to a birthday party, and the kids went around and did run around things, and we're here. We are here to learn how a toy show works.
Yeah, I am pumped up for this one. And before we dive into it, I have to do some obnoxious things, okay?
Are you shilling again?
It is that time, everybody. It is time. So, Aaron, I don't know. I made a post, okay? And this isn't completely shilling. This is more of just a conversation. So this is the Four Horsemen Retailers exclusive, what's his name? Leger? Is that how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah, Leger.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so I wasn't super interested in this at first. And I was bored, and I was like, I got one of these. I'm gonna fucking open it up. And that alternate head, he was just kind of dull for me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not really an elf guy. And I was clowning on this half-orc head because I'm like, why the fuck would they put that in there? But holy shit, this thing makes it, dude. It makes it. And not only that, this guy came with extra builder parts. So you can take these arms off and put armored arms on them, and then you have black arms, dude. And I saw a guy today in the Cabal who had taken the other Four Horsemen Retailers exclusive, which is currently available at HelloDopeToys.com, the Blue Hagnon. And he took the black bits and bobs off of here and put it onto the Blue Hagnon. And holy fuck, dude. I was like, that thing looks fucking amazing.
Interesting.
Um, so anyway, been fucking around with some mythic legions, and some cosmic legions. Um, Finally, I dusted this boy back off and pulled him out, and oh my goodness, so much fun. Like, I think I might be a cosmic legions guy, dude. I don't know. I don't know if I'm sick or
Hmm.
something. Um, but
You might be.
it has happened. And so right now, I'm encouraging all of you to go to Hello Dope Toys and fuck around with some of these because man, I've been having a good time. But Aaron, the more
Hold on,
important.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on,
Okay.
hold on. I have something to. It's not even shilling. Just some news.
Okay.
A lot of you should have received, or for those of you who have partially paid, should have received an invoice today that the Entertainment Earth exclusive White Gi Ken is preparing to ship to us. So all of you who have partially paid, those invoices were sent. Please get those paid out so then we can get those settled up and we can get those shipped out as soon as they arrive. So
Hell
continue
yeah.
on.
I got another bunch of Kens that are going to take up my house.
Oh no,
Um,
well those cans are coming to me and they're pretty much all sold.
oh, perfect. Love that. So the thing that people have been harassing me about, the 2024 Hella Dope Christmas ornament, is now live under the merch section at helladopetoys.com. It is live. There are only 25 in here. Okay, so once they're gone, they're gone. I already have them all wrapped and ready to go. They are set. Shout out to Radnom, Random Diorama, who made these for us. He was thoughtful enough to add a hook. So this hook comes with it. So you don't have to look around for a hook, man. It's just right there. And I made sure all of them were packaged in there accordingly. So, Christmas ornament. I know it's early. I know. But we got to get them to you. You know? They're here. They're ready to go on your tree. And I think that is all I have to shill at the moment. Also, Aaron, one of these is yours, friend. So
Oh,
you will have a little hella dope ornament to put on your tree as well.
lovely.
So I will get
Ted,
that to you.
we have let our guests chill for a little longer than planned. So
Oh
why don't we
yeah,
bring them on and
yeah,
get to getting.
absolutely. So our guests tonight, they are toy show runners of the Western Ohio Toy Show. So they travel around Ohio, setting up amazing experiences for collectors just like us. And we're bringing them in tonight to kind of pick their brains and hear all the pros and cons about what they do and how much we all drive them crazy. So at this time, please welcome Lance and Landon of the Western Ohio Toy Show. Welcome, gentlemen. How the hell are you doing?
Good. Thank you for having us on.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. So I know I just gave a brief introduction there, but you guys could probably do one better. So to anybody watching right now that doesn't know who you are, if you guys want to briefly explain who you are and what you do.
Yeah, we're the Western Ohio Toy Show. My name is Landon Shelpman, and this is my dad, Lance Shelpman. And like you said, we just go around Ohio setting up fun, family friendly toy, comic, and game shows. So we're planning two in Columbus every year. We'll get into that one, but we also have the Springfield Toy and Comic Show we run once a year coming up on December 14th. And then we run our two big shows out in Eaton, Ohio. And that one is actually the branded Western Ohio Toy Show.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we're going to ask you a whole bunch of questions, but I have an important question that I have to ask before I can do anything else. I have to ask this gentleman right here. Aaron,
Mm.
what you sipping on?
Well, I was sent a lovely message from Miss Blue Serendipity.
Hmm.
Uh, showing her steel reserves.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, today I am not sipping on any steel reserve. I'm taking some
What?
antibiotics. Yes, I'm taking some antibiotics. I'm not feeling well. So we are chilling with Mountain Dew.
Because that's going to make you feel better.
It won't, but hey.
That's fine. That's fine. It's nice to see you on the wagon.
No, Still kind of want one though.
Is this a joke? Are you about to pull it up? Just kidding.
No. It's
Okay.
It's Mountain Dew.
Okay. Fair enough.
Mr. Darklaw, unfair for me. I must ask you, sir. What are you sipping on today?
So I'm being lazy. I didn't bring my hella dope mug because I drank my coffee before the show. But you know, I have the refreshing Saratoga here, and then I got some Kroger water in case my mouth gets dry. And boy, Aaron, are we having the most boring "What You Sipping On" segment ever? So hopefully our two guests below have something awesome that they're sipping on. So to the gentlemen of the Western Ohio Toy Show, what is it that you be sipping on tonight?
This one's kind of an interesting one. It's sparkling ice Starburst Orange. I just found that. They had a few cases of them, and I figured I'd give them a try, and that's my new thing. So I like my sparkling ice now.
That's awesome. Awesome. I'll have to try that.
And I am using the color changing Timu cup with water.
Well, you brought a cool cup. That's what matters. That's what matters. You know, I'm drinking water too, so it's fine.
I should. I'm not.
I stopped drinking on streams, guys, because I just got a little too loose. So now I have to behave. I do my drinking beforehand. then I drink carbonated water to, I don't know. It's like my rehab drink. All right, so we gotta say hello to the chat real quick, and then it is Question Palooza time.
What?
Chat.
Oh.
Hello to them.
Yeah, bad. My bad.
Hold on 1 second. It is under the merch section. I guess I probably should have said that. And so same place where you'd find the crates.
On my side, it was still showing as drafted. So I undrafted it.
Weird. Okay. Well, I checked it. Sure, it was there, but okay.
I checked your check, and then now it's
okay. Well, as long as it's there, that's what matters. And if it wasn't there, it would say sold out. So go at it, guys.
All right. Who we got? We got our good friend Trust the Screamer. I don't know who the true star screamer is, but anyway, it's Trust the Screamer. You know, being first today. Roll Keeper. Hello, dopers. How's it going, man? Good to see you. And we got Jason Evangelista. Evening, Hello Dope Toys. It's been a while since I've been here. Well, you're always welcome to be here, and you know we always love you on the replay squad. And we got Robert's Infinite Realms with the Hello Dope and Jelly Time. My wife get her ornament. Well, it's there. You can do that now.
It's there. The phone's buzzing, so I assume she has it now.
And we got the Titan. Hail to the Hello Dope duo. Let's talk some toy shows. Yes. We will definitely be doing that. We have the missus. Good evening, Hello Dope, and everyone had a great weekend. Random Diorama. How's it going? We got Junkie on Crafts and Builds. Mike celebrated his 1K YouTube subscription. So if you didn't catch that, check out Monday's stream. He had a plethora of guests on. I'm still halfway through it.
So many.
I'll hopefully finish that tonight or tomorrow.
Good crowd of people.
Good to hear. And we've got our moderator, Axion Figs. And we have Fatrid. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. It's getting a little easier, but it's still rough. We got Zakanan rumbles into the stream. Early prepping for Festivus. And Random says, I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew, Chip. I'm going to come at you like a spider monkey. I love that movie, by the way. And we have our good friend, Northern Nomad. Now, I'll do it for you this week, Northern Nomad. Because, you know, I wasn't feeling it last week. He says, and I quote, "What's up? And can you dig it, sucker?"
Perfect.
It's a thing in my house. All right.
Wow. All All right, gentlemen. Well, now you are officially in the hot seat. We'll take some chat breaks here and there in case any of the viewers have questions for you. But I guess let's start with how do you end up with a crazy gig like setting up toy shows, especially two of you doing it together, which is absolutely adorable, by the way. Like, I absolutely love a good family business story. So, how did this come about?
I think we kind of just stumbled upon it. I graduated high school, and we've always been talking about starting a toy show and putting our own spin on it. And then it came to probably August or September, and we were just talking about it. And we said, well, the Clark County Fairgrounds is right down the road. Let's see what we can do there. So it kind of came out of nowhere. We thought that maybe we can just put some tables out in a building and the people will come, but we learned there's a lot more to that, both with the promotion, the setup, everything that comes with it. Uh, but it's probably the most fun job in the world that you get to set up toy shows around Ohio. You get to go travel, have an awesome community. It's a really cool job.
So I think to add to that, Landon actually got introduced to him back when they were about 3. Him and his twin brother, I would drag to toy shows with me. So that's kind of how the interest came about.
So you're both lifelong collectors. It's in your blood.
It is, yeah.
That's awesome. So how many years has it been that you guys have been doing this?
So we actually haven't even hit a full year of doing shows yet. This
So
is
you're brand spanking new.
we're still brand new to the industry.
Wow.
So it was we had the brand Springfield Toy and Comic Show about a year ago, but we hadn't even had our first show yet. So now to grow to 5 shows already, it's been really really hard to get those shows started in the different industries, and you have to learn the different cities that you're in. But it's really worth it. I think the vendors have a good payoff of it. So we're happy to maybe have a little bit of a change in the toy and comic community, that people are able to roll in, make money. Attendees are able to get what they want, and that's for not even doing it for a year. We're pretty happy with where we're at.
Yeah, that's impressive for not even a full calendar year. You've grown to this level. Like usually you see like the kind of like the onesie twosies, like kind of get your feet wet, get the marketing piece out. But you just said screw it. We're putting pedal to the metal, and we're going full in.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
You kind of have to go all in this business. If you do it halfway, you're just not going to get there. We talked to several promoters and new promoters and shows and stuff, and that they try, but you really have to go all in. And I think the biggest thing is people always ask, "Hey, we're going to do a show," and I tell them, "Don't." Like right off the bat, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work.
Now, were you guys kind of welcomed with open arms into the toy promoter community, or is it like a territorial thing? Like you pop up and say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna do it here," and some guy calls you up and like, "Hey assholes, this is my turf. You get out of here now."
So no, we haven't really met with any adversity like that. Uh, One thing is that we don't try to go into smaller cities and take over somebody's show or somebody's area. If somebody would come to Springfield, come talk to us, we'll be more than happy. And other people have done shows here in Springfield, and we went out and did their show. So we don't have a problem with it. Just come talk to us. But when you talk about like Columbus or Indianapolis, they're such large communities, you can't really own a community like that.
Mm.
It is a large metropolis type city. Now the biggest thing is not putting your dates on somebody else's dates, not to compete with them. That's the
Right.
biggest thing that we try to follow.
And so for anybody watching, especially here in the Ohio area, I do have a link to your guys' website in the description. So if anybody wants to learn about any upcoming dates or see some stuff from some previous shows, all that information should be on there as well. So now that you've been going a year, are are there spots that like you want to keep? Is there like a home base spot? Like this is our tradition now. This is where we planted our flag. Every year we want to do something here. Or is it just kind of a gamble on, well, we were here, but I don't know if we'll get that spot again next year.
I mean, for us, I think Eaton, I guess, would be our home base, just because it's such a massive venue. I mean, there's 51,000 square feet in that one building, so that's kind of our home place. That's what Western Ohio Toy Show was named after. And then the other shows we'd like to keep running as long as possible. You know, with the Springfield show, we had a few issues getting that venue booked and the certain dates we wanted and the buildings we wanted. But vendors kept coming to us, and we had one vendor say, "Hey, I got to take my family on vacation because of what you guys put on there. I made enough money to take my family on a Christmas vacation." So for Springfield, we said, if this is good for our vendors, if this is good for our attendees, we'll put the work in and we'll make the show happen. But in terms of our home base, I would say that's that Eaton show.
What's step one to even starting? Like, I mean, I guess you need a spot, but how do you even go about securing such a thing?
I think first we spend a lot of hours researching the area, driving around. We go to towns, we knock on doors, talk to people, ask people, that have buildings and spaces, and really being out in the public, just seeing what we can find and what works. The Eaton, Ohio show we actually found on Google Map search.
Yeah.
We were just looking over all the fairgrounds and pulled up the size of their buildings over there and was amazed and was contacted them, and they've been totally great to work with. They take care of us. We get our dates. We have fun. We're in, we're out. They get paid. We get paid. The vendors do well. So, I mean, that's the first thing, is really finding the location and then figure out how you got to make it work once you get in there.
Now, do you need like startup capital for this? Like you have to put a deposit down, or are you able to work out deals where like once you start collecting ticket money, you're able to pay it off then? Like, do you have to have something to start doing this?
So kind of how we do it, there is a down payment that's needed. I'll just go into our Springfield show, for example, and all this is public information, so none of them is proprietary here. We had to pay a $500 down payment, and then that's all you really need to say, hey, this is our date, these are our buildings, and then from there, it's a lot of just prospecting online, going to shops, letting them know it's going to happen. And we like to run our shows almost like an investment from the vendor. So when they give us their $40 for the space, we like to say, hey, we're going to use that money to advertise. We're going to use it to make sure our building is up to spec. Everything that the attendees need to come in, because that's our one goal, is if we can get a lot of attendees coming in, buying products from the vendors are happy, the attendees are happy that we brought in quality vendors. So it all comes together. But it's just that initial down payment is a really only startup capital, I would say.
Show flyers and advertisement, stuff like that. There's some money involved with that. We've kind of found a way through marketing to do some marketing without actually spending some money too, that works well for us, has worked well, and it is working well. So
That's awesome. Now, I assume you guys are looking at these buildings before you make an agreement. So it's not like, you're like, oh yeah, we found a building, and then you walk in there and you're like, what the fuck is this pigsty? Why is this place all fucked up? Like you get to inspect it, right?
Well, going through the list, I think we got to see the Columbus venue one time before we did a quick walk through. You actually never saw the building before we signed the contract, but I went over there and I gave it the stamp of approval, and he said, okay, let's do it. Trying to think through Springfield, we went in there a few times before we started because, like I said, that was the first show, so we wanted to make sure we knew what we were doing. I don't think with Preble County that we looked at that building. Of course, they had pictures online. We said, hey, that's an open floor plan.
But I think we drove around it. We were coming back from a show in Indianapolis and actually drove around it on the way home just to kind of make sure it's what we were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a neat facility because we've got about 100,000 square foot of building over there.
Yeah.
So it's a crazy amount of building and space that we can continually grow that show like we want to do.
That's awesome. Right now there are 49 people watching on YouTube, one person watching on Facebook, and 2 people watching from X. If you're here on YouTube, hit the like button. And guys, if you're here in the chat and you have a question, throw it up. We will make sure all the questions are answered. Aaron, you got any follow-ups on any of that?
No, I'm saving some of my questions.
You're saving your questions, the savory
Yes.
questions. All right,
Savory.
so you secure a building, you secure some dates. How do you go about getting vendors?
I think for us, and again, I can go kind of back to the Springfield show. It was a lot of just going around. We were at almost every toy shop in Ohio. We popped into, we gave them our cards, and we said, "Hey, we're having a show coming up. If you know anyone, please give them this card to be a vendor." And then we were also able to go out to shows, and we would never start the conversation, but we had our Western Ohio logo, or at that time it was the Springfield Toy and Comic Show, and they would kind of ask about it. So the big thing for us is getting out in the community. Like, you want to make sure that people know that they're being taken care of. They kind of know the face to the show, right? We can be Western Ohio Toy Show all we want, but people really just want to know, are Lance and Landon good people? Are they going to look out for my best interests? So doing that, we were able to get a lot of vendors, and they honestly they put a lot of trust in us. I heard a lot of vendors, they were kind of wary about the show at first, because just another show popping up of someone they've never heard of. But for those first 150 vendors, they gave us a try, and to see where it's gone now, we're really thankful for that they were able to give us a try. And we got a lot of things wrong that first show, but they all stuck with us.
Mm. Yeah, that was very, very similar to how we started.
Yeah.
We're still doing dumb stuff.
Yeah, like not activating the listing for an ornament that you're trying to promote.
Did activate it. I checked it on the site.
Yeah,
I said, "Oh, cool, it's there." We were in the green room. I saw it.
Well, it wasn't
Saw
there.
Well, if anybody is just tuning in, the 2024 Hella Dope ornament, motherfucker. This one's mine. This one's mine. It's fine. The 2024 Hella Dope Christmas ornament is live. I don't know if it's sold out yet or not, but there were only 25 available.
There's still currently plenty available.
Cool. Plenty available for all of y'all. Okay, so you get the building, and then you get the vendors. I guess, how do you go about getting foot traffic? Like, you just slapping flyers and banners everywhere, or are you invading Facebook groups? Like,
So it's a lot of being at shows. We do a lot of selling at shows, and we attend a lot of shows to sell. A lot of times when I'm there, we don't make a ton of money at the show, and that's not my first focus. My first focus is talking to everybody who walks up to our booth, and getting them introduced to who we are and what we do. That's the biggest focus, is treating the vendors and attendees like family, and people will come along. They'll enjoy what you do. We were up in Chicago and actually had people come to us at the Chicago Toy Show and like, "Hey, we came to your show. We loved it. We'll be back every show." And they tell all their friends. That's kind of what we try to go after, just try to run a good, clean, fun show that people will enjoy and will come back for.
now, are you guys are you to the point where, like, you're getting those celebrities in there? Like, I know the Columbus Toy Show this year maybe had like Sordon, and last year he had the Red Ranger, some shit like that. I don't remember
So
the timeline.
typically that's not something we're into.
Mhm.
I'm not a big fan of celebrities and autographs and things like that, because at the end of the day, one show I was at, there was a person walking around carrying a $30 picture, and the vendors are like standing there begging, like, "What do I get? What did you buy from me?"
Right.
So we're not a big fan of celebrities. we do a lot of social media people that are in the toy community. We have them attend our events, and a lot of people that are in the toy community watch them. So they're glad to see them at our shows, and that's kind of their people. So they're more interested in that and getting a picture with them versus a picture and an autograph. So we're not a big autograph person. I know several people. At some point, I'm going to have some people come in, but they're going to be there for the day just to sign it, like a $10 autograph or something. It's not going to be a huge amount. And some of these people have been national movies, like big movies.
Mm.
That's where I'd rather go with it, because at the end of the day, I want my vendors to make the most money they can make. And if you're paying William Shatner $300, your vendors over there getting upset.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our philosophy on that.
So if you're not going the celebrity route, which I like the idea of the toy YouTuber toy personality people going there. That was a big draw for me at PowerCon 2022. Was like, oh fuck, there's people that I watch on the YouTubes there. But without the celebrity stuff, what kind of makes you guys stand out from the other shows? Like, what is your hook to bring these people in that doesn't get you lost in the mix?
I think the big thing is we have flat rate pricing. People know what to expect every time. They know that they're going to get quality toys, comics, games, whatever they're looking for, it's going to be there. And that's something we kind of go from the ground up. If we're not charging our vendors a lot, they can afford to sell that item for $5, $10 cheaper. So we kind of orient that in the attendee aspect, that they can go in there, they can get a quality item. It's almost bringing the best together, so that attendee, doesn't have to go to every shop in Ohio like we did. They can just go to that one place and find that quality item they're looking for. In terms of standing out, I think there's a lot of different things that we do to try to stand out. We have badges and lanyards that we give to our vendors. Those are totally commemorative, totally free. The vendor can take that home. You don't see that a lot. But we were able to work it out so that the vendor, that's their badge that they can, put up in their shop, in their toy room, whatever they want to. For the Columbus show, we're going to have these huge toy collecting bags. We have our Western Ohio logo on one side, and then our partner Hobby Schooler on the other side. So that's something that we just give out for free. It's just a show expense. It can enhance the attendees' experience. So that's what we're looking for, is really just to enhance their experience when they're here.
That's great, because it was Bobby Val at Valivers. He had a bunch of like custom made bags. So, like, how many shows you ever go to and you're like, oh man, I want to buy this here, I'm gonna buy this, and then you have nowhere to put it.
Yeah.
Now a lot of people I know, they bring like book bags or like wagons. I mean, I've seen some crazy things now, like a couple shows we've done. But like that's a nice little add-on, like one, it promotes who you are, it promotes the show and gives people something to put stuff in. So
yeah,
well played.
Yeah.
We enjoy seeing them at other shows when we're selling too.
Love that. Aaron, I know there are some things in the chat, including a few questions for our guests. Do we want to plow through that real quick?
Yeah, I'll pop up the questions first and I'll come backwards.
Okay.
There was a question from, where'd it go? From Axion here, wants to know, what do you guys collect? We come to your place. What are we looking at?
A whole mess in the basement.
Yeah, no, that's what this is the nice part of the area.
Yeah,
so don't look over there.
It varies. I'll chase something. I'll do the whole line of it, then I'll sell it, and I'll go chase something else. Like currently, right now, I've got chasing the Congo set. So I'm down to the vehicles for Congo. I'm looking for the last two sealed. I'll get those picked up, and then I'll put it up for sale. We've got Turtles. We've got Power Rangers, Mighty Max. I mean, it's just all over the place. A lot of I'm into horror stuff, so a lot of horror stuff. Anything that's Dracula, any of the Universal monsters and stuff. We're not a big collector of any really one item. We don't stay there. I mean, I've got Black Star characters downstairs. I've got I don't know how many Hot Wheels. Like Hot Wheels is just silly. Like how many I
I,
have.
I went down that rabbit hole once, and like
Yep.
I did not realize how many variations of the same car.
Yep.
If it's not the car, it's the card. Like man, I'm just gonna get the car that I like, and I'm just gonna stop. Like I didn't like I did a I was in a flea market, and the guy that's across from me, that's all he dealt with was Hot Wheels, and like I just didn't understand how in depth this was until I'm listening to this guy, like talking about it. I'm like, no, I'm going to back out now. I'm going to go over here, sell these little video games that I got, and I'm going to be happy.
Yeah,
no.
I collect like the Halloween Hot Wheels, and I pretty much have every car except for like 6 that were ever made. And
Okay.
it's a collection I won't sell, but it's everything. Legos, I'll buy Legos and put them on the shelf and not touch them for 2 or 3 years, and then after I get tired of looking at them, we'll put them up for sale and I'll sell them. Like it's just random. We pretty much don't stick to any one certain item.
Kind of just, oh, that looks cool.
Yeah.
Let's buy that.
Yep. Second question here. We know you're promoting the the Western Toy Ohio shows, and you're doing this, but the question that we have here is, do you also have a store of your own?
So not yet. We've been in discussion about it at some point. It's kind of hard. So I work full time on top of all this, about 50 some hours a week. Landon pretty much is running the shows and doing a lot of stuff himself. And we also own a car wash. So we're very active and very busy. And right now would not be the right time to open a store because we can't dedicate that time towards that store like we would need to. Later on down the road, it's a good possibility. And we would go somewhere. The Springfield community, they've been great to us with all these shows and helping us out and doing things. Aaron over at Rome has been great with us, helped us out a lot. Jesse, a lot of the guys in this community. I would not open one in Springfield. If I open one, I would move it somewhere else within 30 minutes of Springfield, somewhere to open a shop. Just don't want to cause the competition between friends that I like, and we like to go to their shop and buy stuff.
Right. And then
It's
just some love in the chat for let's see, Mighty Max.
Yeah.
Halloween Hot Toys were awesome. Especially the Day of the Dead Halloween Hot Wheels.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's just a rabbit hole that I had to get out of.
Yep.
Also, Yo Joe Jerk, how's it going, man? Good to see you. V Conley and Blue Serendipity have both procured their ornaments, Ted, so they're good there. Roll Keeper also says that he got his. Thatcher says that he's buying 5 of them. Oh wait, he said, "Oh, I bet it use a dolly for a toy." Yeah,
They know how to use a dolly. Yes. So there is some lore here at Hella Dope about the Blue Mule. So when we did the Columbus, Ohio toy show, God, was that this year, Aaron?
no,
it was
that
this
was
year.
last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because there's no.
You guys did August. You were there in August.
Yeah,
we did
March. It was March, I think. I think it was March.
It was March, yeah.
So
yeah.
We learned as we grew. The first time we went to that show, we didn't use any dollies. When we did PowerCon, we did use dollies, and I was like, wow, this is great. So I ordered my own dolly, and it was like $20 on Amazon. And it's this tiny blue plastic thing, and it stretches out, and it's got a little handle. And I was like, cool, this is perfect. I can put the big boxes on there. I can just drag it along. Meanwhile, the handle only goes up to like your knees. So I'm like down here dragging this thing. But anytime I hit a bump, which was all the time, everything would just topple over and spill. I couldn't get through the thresholds. lots of
It was
cursing
hilarious.
and swearing from me. Yeah, now our viewers like to remind me of my humiliating moment any chance they can get with
Yep.
hashtag Blue
I
Mule.
think you need to make a hella dope toy cart that hauls toys into the show.
This man's smart. This man, he's
Because we see what people bring stuff in on, and it's
Oh, yeah.
amazing, like what people are doing just to get stuff in the door. That's what really we like with a lot of our shows is we want accessibility to
Mhm.
get our vendors in and out the easiest way possible. You know, I mean that's a plus that we have with a lot of the buildings we choose, that there's easy access to get in and out.
Yeah.
Yep. We're still gonna probably carry a bunch of boxes.
Well,
We'll bring a cart to the show for you if you need it.
yeah, I'm
Perfect.
so jealous of some of these other vendors because they have this thing down to a science. I think the most amazing teardown that I saw was Eternian Dreams at PowerCon, where they got like 500 hooks and 500 figures on all these hooks. They just like plastic wrapped it all shut, and then all their shelves were on wheels, and they just dismantled and just rolled it out. And I'm here with me, Aaron, Ed, fucking hauling boxes down elevators through a parking
Mhm.
garage and shit. Took forever, and these guys were just in and out in 10 minutes. I was like, what the fuck is this? It takes us forever to get in, set up, and teardown sucks.
We
I hate
did
teardown.
Chicago in July, and it was we had 3 tables set up, and it was full on top of the tables, underneath the tables, everything. I think we were out of there in 4 minutes, like 4 minutes.
Wow.
We tore down, loaded up, and we're gone. And somebody texted me, the person across from me is like, "Hey, where did you go?" And I was like, "We're out. We're headed back to Ohio."
Nope. It takes us 4 minutes to realize that what we're about to do next.
Yep.
It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. We gotta get better at this, Aaron. I figured we would have by now.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe next year. Well, we'll practice at the Polaris show, which
There you
is
go.
in
No,
like
no, we
what,
won't.
2 weeks?
Yeah,
we
no,
won't.
we're not.
No, we won't.
Art G, he might still be here. Art G, how's it going?
RG.
The Canaan also secured his ornament. The wife says I bought a Christmas tree, so he has to decorate it now. So
It's awesome. I hope the Hella Dope ornament is the first thing that you put on there. Even though Zakanan doesn't celebrate Christmas, he celebrates Festivus.
Festivus Day. K Mac, how's it going? And of course, we saw Control Comics with his in the chat there. Punkle Toys has come to join us. What's up, man? And then Radnom says, "I never thought that it takes on $300 just blows out most people's budget, and then a Toy Bros makes nothing." Yeah. I mean, unless you're smart, like as a vendor. So as a vendor who sells things, like if you knew, like if you guys said, "Hey, William Shatner is coming to the show," like I am on the hunt with all my distributors on what William Shatner things do you have? Because while I want to sell this figure to whoever's there, that if they want to get signed, that's on them. But I have something that you want to get signed, so I'm doing my back end homework, to make sure I've got things available. But also it's a pain. I learned the last time when we tried this, they just didn't get anything on time. Like there's like, yeah, give us 3 weeks in advance, we'll ship it to you. Okay, well I gave them a month. They shipped everything after the show. So then we're like stuck with a bunch of stuff. Like, what am I gonna do with all this stuff? So never again. Legend series. How's it going, man? And then we got Richard Lynn. What's going on, man? See you.
Well, I think
That's
Richard
Rich.
Lynn's a first-time commenter here, so welcome.
That's Rich from Hobbies Galore.
Oh, actually,
Oh.
that was going to be our next topic, actually. Aaron, we good on the chat, or do you need to?
This one's for you, Ted, specifically for you.
Yes.
Radnom says his mom says you cuss too much.
I do. I have the pottiest of mouths. Not at toy shows though. Not when I'm working. Not when I'm working. Just
But aren't you
here in my
technically working?
basement.
Aren't you technically working
I
right
mean,
now?
I guess I am technically working right now. This is really hard work, friends. Hard work. Actually, this is the easy part. I just show up and sit down. It's the show prep that's the hard part. That's working. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious how you guys got teamed up with Hobbies Galore. And so to anybody who doesn't know, Hobbies Galore is a local toy shop here in Columbus. I actually bought my Marvel Legends Red Goblin from there a few years back. Great shop. Lots of modern stuff. And a good chunk of RC vehicles as well. So great spot. But how did you guys meet up and partner?
So we talked to Rich. I think his first show was actually the Springfield show. So he gave a chance in us when he didn't even really know who we were. Yeah, we had Rich for the Springfield show, and then he came back around for the spring show. And then as we were approaching that fall show, we started talking to him about, hey, what's the possibility of a Columbus show? Because I know he loves the Columbus community. He thinks that he can really put on a great show there. And it kind of just it fell in place. There wasn't a whole lot of conversation. It was just we went out there one night. We talked to Rich and we said, how can we make this work in the Columbus and Polaris market? So, like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of conversation to be had. It was Rich texting us, telling us, "Hey, come out to the shop after we close. We're talking."
He's really a demographic kind of like us. He's a family oriented shop. His family all works with him, helps out, does everything with the shop. So it was almost a natural partnership because we really don't bring anybody in to help us with our shows other than the family. That's pretty much who does everything for our shows. And we're to the well, I can't say that because we are to the point that we are bringing in security at night. I used to stay up for all the shows. I'd stay up from Friday, Saturday, and go to bed late Saturday night after the shows, like for 2 days. And it finally got to the point where I was like, I'm done. We bring in private security to watch everything and stuff the night before.
So you would just walk around the floor
Yep.
all night?
Yep.
That's crazy. First
All
of all, I
night
appreciate that, but that is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm just not leaving that much stuff in a building with nobody watching it. It was just not worth it. You know,
Yeah.
I would if somebody stole something, I would be sick from it. So
Right.
just to walk the floor. Landon knows he stayed in the buildings with me several times, and he'll lay down or sit down or something. And I'll just be walking the floor all night long, going over, looking at this, going over, looking at that, taking pictures of stuff. And people come through the door in the morning, vendors. I'm like, hey, go get me this. I want it.
You get like the first real sneaky peek at like everything.
Exactly.
Now,
Yeah.
I have a completely off-topic question here. Now, are we sure that this is Landon next to you, not his twin brother?
That is Landon. His twin brother. Where's Brad at? Brad,
are you here?
come here for a minute.
Get on camera.
Yeah, make sure we're not doing like a switcheroo here.
Yeah. How twin are you?
Not real twin.
Okay,
You can tell a difference.
Oh, okay, so you definitely couldn't pull the switcheroo.
No,
we can't do that in school.
All right.
No.
Good to see you there, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out. So correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't know, maybe if you guys were part of this as well, but I thought Hobbies Galore did some sort of mini show maybe a couple months ago. Were you guys a part of that?
Yeah, they did a parking lot sale. When was that?
Right after our show, maybe mid-September.
Mid-September, I think. Yeah. We went out there, set up, and basically just trying to move some stuff, talk to some people in the community, and see how things went. And at that point, we already kind of knew we were going towards the Columbus market with the show. And then I think was it that day? That's the day we found Forever 21, I believe.
No, we went another day to
Did we?
look at a few
Okay.
venues.
I'm wrong.
It's okay. We won't hold it against you.
No, but that was Rich's proof of concept for a show. Like we didn't have any hands in the promotion, so seeing that really reassured us that Rich kind of knows what he's doing. He can run a show himself. So that's kind of when we put the final stamp on it.
Yeah,
We
so there
do.
was.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
We do a lot of parking lot sales. We travel, even over to Indiana. We go to Indiana to do a parking lot sale. So I did Toledo in the spring last year, and Landon wasn't feeling good. I came all the way back to Springfield, dropped off a load of stuff, picked up another load, and we went to Indianapolis the next morning for a parking lot sale. So we're out, we're running, and just talking to people, and it's what you have to do. And these parking lot sales are great, especially for a store owner, because you're not only getting the people there to buy from other people, but you're also getting the people there to buy at your store, which is a double dip for that promoter or whoever's doing it. So that's one thing we like to see, and the fees for those shows are really reasonable for a parking lot show. And it makes it good for an entry level collector to get in and see if they can sell stuff and want to sell stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so I hadn't heard about the Hobbies Galore parking lot show until like a few days before it had happened, because our customers, our local Columbus customers, were asking if we were going to be there, and I was like, well, I don't know anything about this, and then I looked it up, and I said, I thought it was impressive for the fact that they're a local retailer here in Columbus, and while we don't have a lot of mainstream toy stores here, there's Big Fun, which I think is different enough from Hobbies Galore that they don't really mess with each other. But like, to my knowledge, those are it. Everything else is just like that garbage Go Games or FYE where they just scalp the hell out of everything. So the fact that he, as a business owner, would invite other retailers and vendors to come in and sell stuff essentially on his turf, I thought that was incredible and very, very generous,
Yeah, we're in it for the community. We like to be in the community and dealing with people and having fun. And like I say, at the end of the day, it's not about making a lot of money. It's about being out there with the community and having a good day, regardless of how well you do or how well you don't do. Of course, everybody likes to do well, but there's days that you just don't. You may have the wrong stuff when you come to a show, and you got to do your homework and make sure you're bringing the right stuff to the show in order to make those sales at the end of the day.
Well, we learned that going, I think, with the first CTS show, we learned it was more of a vintage thing. And we're sitting with like every modern toy that has come out in the last 90 days. We're like, well, I mean, we did okay. Don't get me wrong. We had a good show, but it's like, well, do you have this vintage figure? Like, no, I don't.
Oh yeah,
there's one over there.
They wouldn't even stop to ask. They would just ask while they're power walking by. Like, you have this thing? I go, nope, okay. Go on.
Yeah, you got to do your homework. We did a show in Marysville a while back. Don and Fred run the Marysville Toy Show. We did it a while back last year. And Landon came home. We decided we were going to do it. Well, I used to work up there for one of the large factories up there. And I said, we're taking every Honda vehicle we got. We rolled into that show and sold almost, I don't know how many we sold.
Almost
It was almost every Honda vehicle I had out there because I knew where we were going. So it's important to do your homework. If you're going to go into a show, know what people are buying and selling and what type of show it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we definitely learned, I say, after that first show, like, well, I think now we've gotten to the point where most people know who we are and what we deal with. So like it's expected now. Like, oh, if you're looking for the latest classified, we're gonna probably have it with us. If you're looking for eventually, yeah.
Hopefully before it goes on clearance.
But yeah, we definitely took that on the chin the first couple times, and then we definitely evolved from there to like realizing like, hey, you got to play to the audience, and sometimes, I mean, even if you don't have it, you put that smile on, like, hey, nope, I don't have that, but hey, have a great show.
Yep.
Yeah. So your next big show is November 30th, Saturday, November 30th. here in Columbus at the Polaris Mall, which is literally just like a mile up the road from where I am right now. Um, Not only is it at Polaris Mall, but you guys have secured the former Forever 21 building. And as a person who has a wife and a daughter, I've been dragged into that Forever 21 building way more times than I care to admit. And it is such a classy spot. Like, especially, I saw the videos of you guys kind of wandering around in there while it was empty, and I was just like, good golly, this place is beautiful. So, how did you guys secure that? And let's talk about what's going to go on November 30th.
Yeah, so we were down there in Columbus checking out a few venues. We were actually on the other side of town, just outside the outer loop to the south side, and we found a venue and we said, "Hey, this place is not for us." And if we showed you pictures, you would understand why we were saying this isn't for us. Then we were going around. I had some box lunch coupons, which people who know who box lunch is, kind of a collectible store. Spencer's owns them and all that good stuff. So I said, "Hey, we're up at the Polaris Mall. I don't want to drive back to the Dayton Mall to spend my box lunch dollars, so we're going to go up to Polaris." And we were walking around. We went to the volleyball place and kind of talked with them. And I'd never been to Polaris, so I said, "All right, let's just walk around. Let's just see what's up." So we go to the outside kind of courtyard area, and then we were just talking. And I think we were just about ready to leave, and we turned to our left, and it said like 31,000 square feet, booked for weddings, conferences, events. And we were like, "Whoa, what's this?" So then we talked to Rich, and he was familiar with the space. He knew what we were in for, and it was pretty simple getting them booked with the mall. They really enjoyed having us, especially because they have a toy and comic book store there. They were like, "Yeah, we'll take the extra business, the extra attendees that are there that may be eating at the food court, maybe shopping at one of their other anchor tenants." So they were excited to have us. We're excited to have them. So it was kind of natural after that, but we just had to find it first.
Sounds like the stars aligned there. Like you're just
Yeah.
wandering around and then boom, there it
Yeah.
is. And so once you looked at it, what are your thoughts on the condition of that building right now? Did I freeze?
No, they
Uh-oh.
did.
They froze. It's okay. They'll be back in a sec.
Mhm.
Well, let's check in with the chat.
There's not much really.
Okay.
Rebel Toys is here. How's it going, Frank? Good seeing you, man. Yeah, no, that's really. I guess this one here. Off the basher, when is the new Valorverse wave, including the new head packs, and reissues? Well, they just finished Legion Con. My assumption, and this is an assumption because I have not heard anything official yet, would probably be within the next week or two. I don't know.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything, and my assumption was one, they just got back, but also um we got an email about this. Whatever is listed on the site right now for pre-order is what we're going to have. But Valaverse has publicly stated that the replacement parts will be there, will be sent to us to send out to all of you. So if there's a delay, I assume that delay is because they're waiting on the replacement parts to arrive, and then they'll ship the orders. But we have not spoken to them. And normally, when Bobby's ready to take our money, he comes knocking on the door. So as soon as Valaverse is ready to ship that to retailers, we will be getting them, and Bobby ships fast. So all right, welcome back, guys. I thought I froze.
No, the computer
this-
didn't like that question, I think.
This question is for you before we get back to that. timeline on the big boy held up crates.
Oh, you're talking about, man, I was shilling shit earlier. Yeah, so the hella dope weapons crates, I guess we gotta ask Radnom. I think he's still in the chat. And now originally once we agreed upon the ornaments, I kind of wanted to push these crates back a little bit. But now that the ornaments are here and moving out the door, I think it's time to start bringing these in. And if it's a situation, I think, where Radnom is like, hey, I have a date, it'll be by this time, we might put them up for pre-order. Um, and that way, when they land, I'll just ship them out. But we will, to be continued on that. Okay. Anyway, I was asking about your guys' thoughts on the condition of the Forever 21 building, like when you saw it, especially in comparison to other venues you may have been in or seen.
Yeah, it's honestly a beautiful building. The first thing that Rich said when we walked in was, "Whoa, look at those chandeliers!" And it's just because a lot of the buildings that we're in, even though they're nice, they're agricultural buildings, so they're not say cookie cutter, but they're kind of the pole barn with concrete floors. So we go in there and it has a really nice floors. It has chandeliers in the ceiling, really nice paint on the walls. So we're like, whoa, what is this place? So I think it'll be cool. We're gonna take a lot of pictures there of kind of the setup. I think it'll be really nice, both with the lighting, but also just the state of the venue. Like you said, you've been in that space before. You know how nice it is. So we're excited to be there, even though it's only one day. That is our place for the day. So we're hoping that the vendors and attendees really like it.
Now, it's a two-floor building. You originally planned on two floors, but you pulled it back to one. Is that still what it is? You're still not going to use the
So
upstairs
yeah, it's
space?
one floor. We looked at the elevator about getting the elevator back and running. Permit wise and everything, it's not that expensive to do what it needs and the upgrades, and we opted to pay for those upgrades just to get the elevator working so we could use both floors right away. However, we found out that there's some more uh, issues that
We can't fix.
we can't fix with it, that it's going to be an extensive cost to fix. So looking forward, we're looking to see how we can do both floors. But in the wintertime, we really don't want people walking out through the building, going downstairs, going in that door. It just creates a whole mess of worrying about people getting hurt or anything like that. We'd rather have them come in one door, do a nice, 20,000 square foot show. And then as we look at it for the springtime coming up, we'll figure out what we're going to do with the lower floor. I mean, we've had this happen before. Eaton, we planned on having two buildings our last show, and what do we have, 20, 26 or 28 spaces open up the last week because of people that had COVID,
Mm.
which was unreal. And finally, we just made the call. We was like, you know what? Close the other building, move everybody into one building, and let's do a really good show in one building. So rather than have two half-empty buildings, it was like, let's just have one nice building for everybody to enjoy. Um, Things like that happen with shows, and it's stuff out of your control. Like I say, even the night before the show, I had somebody call that had COVID, and I just flat out told them, I said, that's fine. We'll figure it out. We'll move people into your space. We'll fill it up. Just, rather than refund, what we usually do is we roll their money to the next show.
Mm.
Try to keep it honest with them. We're not, some shows are like, hey, you didn't show up, you lost your money. We're not like that with our vendors. We try to treat all our vendors very well. We
Mhm.
understand things happen, so, but that show, getting that elevator going was going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $7,000.
Jeez.
Yeah. And that's just not cost that we can absorb at this time to get that thing going. But it had been
Mhm.
nice, but we'll figure out how to use the space for the spring show. We have an idea, but I don't want to jump into that yet. But we're probably gonna use the space in the spring show.
Okay.
So that means right now you are confirming that the Forever 21 building that you will be at on November 30th, you also have reserved for spring as well?
So kind of how it's working. It's kind of a standard that we've come to learn with most event managers or venue managers is they say yes, you can do it, but first we need to see it, right? If you tell them, hey, we're gonna have a toy and comic show, and then all of a sudden it's an all-out brawl with everyone, they're gonna say, hey guys, we don't want you back. So we have the date, not officially booked with them, but we're the from what we hear, the mall wants us back, and we want to be back at the mall. But like I said, it's just a formality of they have to say, hey, these people are good people. We can have them back without a risk to our venue.
Yeah, they come in. They've came into all our shows, all our venues. The people that run the venues have came to all of our first shows to understand what we do because they're not familiar with it, and they want to see that we're doing something good for them versus, like Landon said, causing issues or problems and people tearing the place up. That's not what we're about. We go above and beyond. At the end of the day, like we'll probably be there to 8 or 9 o'clock cleaning the building. We're done. That building will be a lot cleaner than it was when we walked through the door. That's just the way we treat the buildings that we go to. So they want to come see it, and after they see it, then they're good with signing contracts and things. And it could change. I mean, as you well know, retail space, somebody could jump in there, and of course, the mall's going to go with the retailer versus us,
Right.
But understandably, with what we know, with the condition of the building and the upgrades that would have to be done, it would have to be a large retailer come in and take the space right away.
Right.
So I think we're pretty safe, for springtime. Yep.
That is very exciting, especially again since it is just right up the road.
Yep.
From where I am sitting right now.
Richard said that the escalators were 75,000
for the escalator. Yes.
Yeah.
The elevator was going to be 7,000. The escalator was 75,000. Yes. It's just not what we can absorb as a one-day toy show. If I could run a toy show 365 days a year, I'd be more than happy to pay that cost. But I can't do that.
Yeah, definitely not for one day. I mean, a 2-day show, maybe a 3-day show. Ooh, not for one. Now
So,
I have. Go ahead.
No. I was going to ask a question. I'm good.
So you guys chose the 30th of November.
That's what I was.
Was that strategically that date, like that Black Friday weekend? You knew, like, is that like everyone's going to be out shopping and spending money, but also watching the Ohio State Michigan game at the same time?
Yeah, we are gonna be watching that. Like I said, I know the game is on. I can't say I'm publicly going to be streaming it. I may have a projector up on the wall that may be streaming the game, but that's just for me. And if other people want to watch it, they can watch it. But it's not a public stream. So that I think it will kind of alleviate the vendor who doesn't want to miss the big game. But understand with such a big population, we're also pulling the early crowd. We're going to be pulling people who want to be there, before the game, and then they can go out. But also, like you said, being Black Friday weekend, Small Business Saturday, that's stuff that's going to be circulating people. So we're excited to have that. And also, it just worked for the mall. It worked the best for them with the other things that they were having going on. So we said, yeah, let's give this one a try. Like I said, I'll be watching the game. If other people want to watch it on my 70-inch projector, they can.
You may have to leave Ted a while, to see what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. So did you guys get any pushback about that? Like, were people puffing and puffing at you, like, why would you do that? Or has everybody just been like, okay, cool, I'll be there?
Not really. We've had some people several people I talked to at a show a couple of weeks ago were like, well, I don't know if I'm traveling on vacation. Let me find out. But they've come back around. They're like, hey, I'm going to be in town that Saturday. I'm doing the show, and it's been a good response. Ever since we launched the date, people want to check their schedules because it is a new show. They check their schedules and they come back and they're like, hey, we're doing it. That's the best part about it is the community. It's not, we're sports people, but we're not primarily sports people. Like, I don't have to see the game. I've seen enough Ohio State Michigan games. I'm not 100% focused on the game. but we'll be watching the game, along
Mhm.
with doing what we do. And I think it's
Right.
going to turn out to be a good day. And next year, will it be on that date? I don't know that yet. So it kind of can hurt you. But if we were doing a sports card show or something like that, your sports people are going to be down at the arena watching it, or down
Right.
there having fun around that. Toys and comics, it's a whole different crowd. You have Ohio State people, you have Michigan people in both crowds, in the toy world.
Mhm.
And I think it's going to be a fun day regardless, just because the game's going to be on, because we do have several vendors that are Michigan fans and several vendors that are Ohio State fans. So I think it's going to be a fun day regardless of being able to go see the game live or just watch it on TV, but sell toys and have fun with the community. And like I say, the interaction Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, all that stuff plays into it, where we're probably going to bring in quite a few new people into the market, as far as new people coming in with kids and stuff that were interested. You see them at every show. They come in, they don't know this stuff exists.
Mhm.
If you can introduce it to people, the more people you introduce it to, the better it's going to be for all of us at the long run.
Absolutely. Um, Question here in the chat from Cut Through Comics. I think I heard this correctly, but I'll pop it up anyway. He's he says, "What kind of guests will you have in a comic book area of your shows, or is that something that we're thinking about doing?"
We
Because I know you
haven't
had said, "Go ahead."
we haven't done them at our shows. There's quite a few artists that I'm pretty good friends with. We do a lot of comic book shows. I've got a larger collection of comic books than I should have. And we do a lot of shows. We have fun with it. We travel around, do shows, and you talk to a lot of people. One in particular out of Indiana. At some point, if I can get him over there, he's one of the larger comics and comic book artists in the area. But I would want him to come in and just do his thing, just like any other artist would. Come in, set your booth up, have fun. People come up, buy their autograph off of you, talk to you, whatever. Um, it's not about, we really don't want to have actual artists there, or not like make them the public focus of the event. More than
Mhm.
welcome to come. We have what's the one? We do have one comic book artist that's coming. I can't think of his name offhand.
We have quite a few for Springfield.
And there's several at Columbus already, and then there'll be comic book dealers there. Um, but nobody specific that we've reached out to have somebody specifically for that event yet.
Mm.
And I'll reach out. I'll reach out to a buddy of mine and see if he's interested in driving to Columbus. I don't know if he will or not, but if we can get somebody there that's a big name that they'll enjoy, why not?
Mhm.
That'd be very cool. So what is the strategy for bringing in the casual mall walkers? So my understanding is Forever 21 is like exterior entry only. So like you can't get in there from inside the mall. You have to be outside the mall to go in. And then you also have a cover charge standard amongst all toy shows to get in. So what is the plan to get the moms that are out shopping with kids into that door?
Yeah, so we're trying to think of, if somebody's just rolling around that mall, just about to walk in, like you said, it's an exterior building, it's facing the parking lot, huge windows. So we're gonna have some marketing things that someone will say, hey, there's this toy show here, but also try to break it down exactly what a toy show is, because like my dad said, there's a lot of people who just come to a toy show for the first time, try to see what it is. But if we can articulate what a toy show is, I think that's going to help. Vintage, modern. This as we skew towards Christmas, it's a lot more towards the modern, I think, which is good for that casual person looking to shop. We have 10 toy show here. Yard signs that we use to bring people in. We have an A-frame poster, but it's just having as many facings as we can to tell that casual person, hey, come in, try this out. And what's really good is we have that flat rate pricing. If you're the avid person from 8 to 9, it's $10 for that early admission. Look for the good stuff early. And then after that, from 9 to 3 or 9 to 4 for this show, is the general admission. It's only $5, free parking. So you're not having to waste, $20, $25 before you even walk in the door. You can try it out for $5. What's really good with our show, the Columbus show, is kids 10 and under get in free. So that's a really good thing. Bring the kids with you, see what they're interested in. Worst case, that's something good. If you have, Hobbies Galore there and they have their website set up, they can say the kid will really want that toy helicopter. So the mom, writes it in her phone, grab that toy helicopter, and then they go online and get that toy helicopter from Hobbies Galore. Just an example of something like that where we can get the casual person in.
We've also worked with some of the stores in the mall, and I don't have a list of them yet, but when they come in, they get their $5 admission band. When they put that on, they can actually go into some of the stores in the mall, and they're going to get an additional discount in the mall stores.
Oh,
so
wow.
we're working with Polaris on that and a couple of stores in the mall to make sure that happens. Just kind of like an added bonus. You come to the show, you get your wristband, you go in, and then they offer you an additional discount inside those stores at the mall. But I don't have that list. I don't think you know it either.
Rich, if you have that list of our coupon people, feel free to put that in the comments and all that. But
that's a great deal.
That is smart business right there. Yeah. So like, you pay the admission fee, and then if you're going to keep shopping around, you're getting a discount everywhere else, which is going to well make up for that. And I think that's brilliant, and that doesn't even cost you anything. That's costing everybody else something.
Try it before you buy it.
Business.
Yep.
I like that. I like that a lot. So do you have any projections for this? Like, is this going to be your biggest show of the year? Like, is it kind of up in the air with the date and the time and all that stuff?
So it's kind of what we've noticed is each of our shows kind of sits around the 1,000-person threshold. Springfield is a pretty dense population area. We were at about 1,000, and then we moved out to Eaton, which is kind of more densely populated. If you're outside of that I-70 corridor, you're kind of out of the way of Eaton, and we still had about 1,000 people there. So that would be our goal. Columbus being as densely populated as it is, you have all the suburbs of Columbus as well. I would like for it to be bigger, but I think if we can have a good 1,000-person show, we like to see that attendee number, but I don't think it's something that we wear on our sleeve very much, because you can have 20,000 people, but if those people aren't buying from your vendors, those 20,000 people weren't there for us. So that's the big thing that we always like to see, like the Eaton show. We see people carrying bags and bags of toys out, and that's what we like to see. Like I said, that one person who can make up for 10, as we call them. What do we call them? Museum shoppers who are looking at that thing, being like, "Oh yeah, I used to have that one."
I had that. We went to a show a few weeks back, and that show ends up kind of being that way. The vendors kind of get upset because people aren't buying, and that's kind of what, when you try to attract vendors, we go after people that are going to buy. We try to market towards those people. Even our social media marketing, we hit the demographic. So the demographic in toys is about 30 to 54, 55. So when we market on social media, we go towards that market. And the reason being is because that's the buyers that you want.
Right.
And it works well, and that's kind of our demographics, what we go after. I don't want people coming in and just hanging out, looking at stuff and then leaving. I want my vendors to do well. That's our number one focus, is our vendors first, attendees are second. Not that attendees are second, but our vendors are first. We have to take care of our vendors. If we don't take care of them, we lose them. And every show you continually have to go find new vendors. We don't have that issue normally, typically. So that's the idea, is throw down a good show, have great vendors, get your attendees there. They're ready to buy. They're anxious to buy. They know what vendors are going to be there, so they're wanting to be there to buy. And you have to partner with them. So our vendors, a lot of times we'll put stuff out like right before a show. We'll start putting stuff out and they'll start posting on their social media to let people know where they're going to be at the same time. So we're driving traffic from both sides to get the maximum amount of people there that are going to be there buying. That's I enjoy it when I see people go by the front door and they've been in and out 2 or 3 times with boxes or bags full of stuff. That's all I can ask for is I know they're buying from vendors. Um, we have had vendors show up to shows that didn't do their research. They don't do well. Um, Not out of our calls. If they would ask, we would tell them what type of show we are. You just can't jump onto a show and book and expect to make money. Don't show up and expect to make money if you didn't do your research. But ask. You need to know where you're at. You need to know what you need to sell. You need to know how to promote what you're selling out there at the show. And 95% of our vendors do that, and they do it well. And that's all we can ask for is to be able to have good products. Talking about vendors, I have one that comes in from Tennessee, come in to the show in May, first time at our show. He had sold a great amount of stuff at our show and was totally happy with what he sold. But at the end of the day, he told me, he said, I came to your show not expecting a whole lot. He said, I expected to do decent. He said, I did well. He said, but at the end of the day, he said, I bought more rare items at your show than I've ever bought at any other show I've attended. And that makes us feel good because we know our vendors are bringing the quality stuff. And that's what we try to do is make sure the quality merchandise is there that people want or need.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. Like it's nice to hear that a promoter cares.
Yeah.
Aaron, you have some stuff in the chat from Richard.
Yeah. Absolutely. Richard was saying, wow, hold on. He's got some ads out right now in the Blitz. He said he also mailed out about 10,000 flyers his ways. Also handed out another 600 himself in the shop. And then, I said 2 different ads running on the Blitz. So if you're a Blitz listener, check out those ads. Be hyping up the show. We're on the countdown. We're 13 days away. So, we'll be putting it on our socials. We'll hype it up as much as we can for people who follow us. So we'll have a good show.
So, as you guys continue to grow, how many shows realistically do you think you can do a year, or how many do you want to do a year where you're like, yeah, we have X amount, this fills our year, we're quite happy. What's that number looking like for you guys?
We want to kind of slow down now that we have 3 different places, and not slow down in terms of growth at those places, but just I don't want to spread ourselves out very thin. If it's just us 2 running, like Dad said, he works a full-time job, so I take on a bulk of the promotion, but I want to make sure that every show we have, we can put the Western Ohio stamp of approval on it, not just be another show in that town. Eaton is here to stay, Springfield is here to stay, and Columbus is here to stay. We're thinking about somewhere like Cincinnati. That's another great toy metropolis. They have incredible amounts of toys there, and we have a lot of people asking us to put a show out there. But like I said, we want to make sure that the 5 shows that we have right now are quality, both are for the vendors and attendees.
Yeah, we've been asked about Cincinnati, Cleveland, East Lansing, Michigan, Knoxville, Tennessee, Pittsburgh, Toledo. Even had a guy last time ask us about coming out to Missouri to do a show.
Oh, wow.
So it's not something we're opposed to, but we know from our standpoint that we got to get these shows as to the highest level we want to see them at before we start taking on any more. It's kind of like with any business. You want to make sure it prospers and your customers and clients are happy and everybody's doing what they need to do and enjoying your stuff too. Even in the car wash business, we bought the car wash. It wasn't doing real well. We bought it. We painted it, cleaned it up, got all the equipment working perfectly. And it's turned completely around and the people love it, and that's what we're about. we don't make the most out of the car wash compared to other car washes, but we get a fair amount that's going to keep us in business and it's going to pay the bills, and we're having fun with it. So that's more what we're about, is just providing a service for people and trying to keep that reasonable. Um, we've been in shows that are $110 a table, and you travel 4 or 5 states away to do them, and it's expenses that you got to cover to do that show. So they better bring in lots of attendees. If they don't, you're just losing money at the end of the day. And we're not here to lose money, none of us. But it's kind of how we do our business and our thought process. I've had businesses pretty much my whole life, and we've done stuff here and there. I've been in the car market and stuff, selling car parts, traveling around flea markets, car shows, stuff like that for years. And you learn, like I say, if you take care of your vendors, the vendors will help take care of you, and the attendees will come along with it, and your shows will grow and they'll get bigger and bigger. Just like the big car show in Columbus, the Good Guys.
Yep.
Started out as a small show, and it's blown up into this big metropolis of a show, and there's lots of people try to go after them and want to do this. It's about price, money, and how you take care of the people that come to your show, and that's why people go and attend it.
Good.
One of the questions when you were talking about the car wash thing, Ed put a message in earlier. I wanted to bring it up. If you ever decide that you do want to open up your own little toy store, have a toy store car wash, kill two birds, one stone.
Yeah,
go get the car wash, go buy a toy. Everyone wins.
We can just put little Mighty Maxes in the vending machines and people can come buy them.
That's brilliant. I wanted to bring this up too, because I agree with Richard here. He said GalaxyCon is expensive, and Aaron and I looked into that show, which is next month.
Yeah, that's all we did was look.
Yeah, we looked because even at PowerCon, they were offering us half the space for twice or thrice the price. I don't remember. It was
but you're talking
something.
about 4 days.
Yeah.
4 days of PowerCon versus GalaxyCon at their price. You're getting, and even with PowerCon, really the 4th day really is just more of a let's see what I can get cheaper than the other 3 days. You're talking 3 solid days of PowerCon at their price as a vendor versus what GalaxyCon is saying for it's 2 days, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, it sounds right. It sounds like it's the replacement for Wizard World. That's what it seems like. A new take on Wizard World.
Now, don't get me wrong. I am thinking about going because I still need to get my Sting sign. The Sting will be there.
Sting will be there. I forgot.
Just saying, this is like a dream come true for me. Young me from 96 is waiting to get that Sting sign.
Well, I hope you get it. I hope you do.
Probably got to work that day, knowing my luck.
So, since you guys were talking about growing, we mentioned PowerCon and GalaxyCon now, and you kind of touched on this a little bit, but are you long-term looking for one of these shows to be like the spectacle show? Because I think PowerCon's a spectacle. Wizard World is a spectacle, a traveling spectacle, but a spectacle nonetheless. That's what people go to. That's what they wait for all year. Joe Fest, Legions Con, things like that. Is that something you're aspiring to, or are you just happy, just touring the state?
If we can be that show, that's great. I think where we're at right now is good, trying to keep the prices low. We don't try to be a con. I was talking to who puts on Torg out there at the fairgrounds, and I think they're now at the convention center.
Yeah, the convention center now. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's exactly what we were talking about. We're not in the same genre that they are. Like you said, I think spectacle is a great word. They go in there to play those games, play the tournaments, meet the people. We're really a vendor focused show rather than an experience show, if that makes any sense. If we can grow our shows, I think Eaton would be the place with having over 100,000 square feet. That person can circle it on their calendar to say, hey, if I'm going to go to one show this year, it's going to be this one. But in terms of conventions or anything like that, we'll have to see where it goes. But right now, I don't think that's where we need to be. And also, I don't think there's a lot of market for that. There's a lot of conventions right now in Ohio. So we'll let them have that space, and we'll take our nice vendor shows.
I mean, even Torg has gotten to the point where they realize, while yes, they are a predominant video game show, they realize that they want to bring the toy side in also. Because my buddy who helped set up that show a couple of years ago had one of their people reach out to me talking about going there. I'm like, I mean, I'd love to, but I mean, we're not even in the place to like really be a centerpiece of a toy company at a video game convention. Now, I used to run a video game store. I get that. I know how that side works. But I mean, honored, but not ready for that. Let's talk later. But I think Torg is getting to the point where they're going to evolve that, because I mean, there are tons of toys that are involved in the video game world. Final Fantasy. That's just one off the top of my head, but there's so many. So not to bring that world into your world would be, in my opinion, dumb to not do it. But not my show.
We one thing we do differently too is like we have other shows that come to us and they visit our show and we'll shop or whatever, and like everybody else, we put out a card table. And we don't have a problem with people going around at our booths. They go around our booths and talk to our vendors. You're not going to steal my vendors, unless you do the show on the same day. The vendors, I want my vendors to make as much as they can. And if you're going to them and saying, hey, would you like to do our show? That is totally fine with us. We had one person hand out over 1,000 flyers outside our front door one time at a show. And we don't have any problem with that. We will promote. We will help people out. We will do whatever we need to do. That's just not who we are. It's a community, and everybody's going to prosper. And everybody's going to be fine. Like I say, at the end of the day, it's all about the vendors and the attendees' experience. That's what it comes down to for us.
Absolutely. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. Jeff says, gonna be set up at Springfield show, and we'll have Pokemon card packs and boxes of new Surging Sparks. My kids are all in the Pokemon cards right now. I gotta find those for Christmas. So
we'll have a couple Pokemon guys at Columbus. I already talked to quite a few of them. They'll be there selling Pokemon stuff.
Awesome. And then Richard, this is interesting because yes, I did used to work for Chad at VGMX. Yes, I know Ski very well. Man, that was a long time. I still talk to Chad now. He's doing well. He's doing video games, or he's doing making his own game, or he was making his own game. I don't know if he's still doing it. But yeah, man, that's awesome. Good to know.
Interesting fact: if you go to Jeff Cyber on Froggy Flips, he was on our Springfield Toy and Comic Show at Froggy Flips. He's a vendor that comes and does our shows and stuff. Usually brings a lot of rare vintage stuff here and there. So that's that. A lot of stuff that we do. We watch a lot of video. We talk to a lot of social media people. I think we got 2 or 3 set up for this Columbus show already, and I'm working on a couple more to bring in. That's one thing that we do differently too. Is I bring in several social media people just to get our stuff out. And we want people to see the good stuff and the bad stuff, because some things we do great and there's stuff that we've had problems and nobody notices. Luckily, we notice, but they don't, which is good. Right. But that's the kind of idea that we like to have behind social media being there, because we want everybody to see what we're doing and why we're doing it, and come out and enjoy the event,
Awesome. I can't wait. We've been, ever since we talked the last time about getting everything set up for the show, like we've been super excited for it. We were talking backstage. We're like, this is one of the things that was on our list. We wanted to get to more local shows. Eventually, they'll spread out further. Maybe hit a Springfield. Do like Marysville and anywhere else that we can get to, if it all lines up right, obviously.
Yep.
But it's an honor, one, to have you guys here to talk about how you guys do this, and to be able to be a part of your show. So,
Yeah, we watch usually on Sunday nights is our downtime. We're in front of the TV watching stuff on TV, and we're always on watching you guys. And it was funny that night that we were sitting there and we just had a quick discussion because, like I say, we watch it on Sunday nights if we have nothing going on. A lot of times we're free on Sundays. It's kind of our downtime. But there you guys are having your comments back and forth, and a lot of times we laugh about it and stuff. We have a good time with it.
yeah, no, this is real life bickering right here. This is our real life marriage on the internet for all to see.
Yes.
Yeah, we argue. We don't argue a lot, but sometimes we don't see eye to eye at times, but it's business. It's not a family thing with us. It's strictly business at that point,
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna ask one more question, and then we can probably wrap it up here because, man, I feel like I've spent you guys. Just long term right now, what's the goal? What's the big overarching dream in general for your current venture?
I think not really grow, but try to, how do I phrase it? I want to make sure that the 5 shows we have right now are good. I want to make sure that before we hop into new venues, the vendors know they're being taken care of. The attendees know the Western Ohio Toy Show is the place to be if you want quality products from quality vendors. Really just make sure that everyone is being taken care of. Know that if you're a vendor and you're signing up, one, just like they did last year, you're taking a piece of trust in us. But know that every dollar that you spend is an investment to make sure that you have attendees coming through the door. And for the attendees, know that just like these free bags, we care for you. We are going to care for you. Know that you're going to come for an exceptional show. So the Western Ohio Toy Show, we want it to be the place that people can come to, whether it's a community, whether it's a family thing. Maybe it's just, hey, we saw this and we wanted to pop in. Make sure that that you're being taken care of. And I'll share one last story of we were at our fall Western Ohio Toy Show. We were about to wrap up, and I was walking around, and I saw this man with the 2 little boys walking around, and we had these 2 like RC robocopter things on our table. And the boys were pointing at it, and the dad was like, all right, let's keep looking. It might have been out of his price point. And at that point, I walked up to the dad. I said, hey, can they have this? And I saw tears falling down his cheek. And he thanked me. He hugged me. He said, my wife just wanted me to take the boys and do something. And he said, we're going to be back. We love this. So that's what we are. If nothing else, if we don't grow our numbers, if we don't grow the number of shows we do every year, make sure that you're being taken care of.
Absolutely. I mean, the kids is what's going to keep this hobby, if you want to call it that, alive.
Yeah.
We don't want this to die when we're gone. We want this to continue. So, it's something as simple as a toy, a robot, something that they're eyeing that, like, we get it. Times are tough right now. It's got bills to pay, and the cost of food's continuing to go up. Maybe you can't afford that, but guess what? It's just a toy at the end of the day. I can make a kid happy. I can make that family have maybe something that was missing that reignites, like, that love and, like, oh my God, I have the greatest dad in the world now because I have this robot. Like, that feeling is great. And for you to give that to someone is amazing. And now you have a lifelong, supporter of what you're doing because of that one act of kindness.
Yeah.
So that is amazing.
We try to do as much as we can. We had one of our vendors called us after a show, and he said, hey, I didn't do well. I don't think I'm going to make it up for your show.
At a past show, he did. I think 2 weeks before our show came up, he gave us that call.
Yeah. And basically, we called him back and told him, said, look, do our show. If you don't make money, don't pay us. If you make money and you feel like you can pay it, pay it. At the end of the day, I would rather have him there as a vendor than not have him there as a vendor. And is that fair to everybody else in the community? It is and it isn't, because in this situation, we're extending that hand out to help somebody that struggled through a past show. We get it. We've all been there. You know, some vendors do thousands of dollars at a show. There's some vendors out there that do a couple $100. There's some vendors that do less than that. When they do less than that, we'll extend that hand out to help them. You know, get into the community, learn what you need to sell, work with us. We'll help you. You know, anybody has a show. Landon even reached out to a kid that just had a show down by Cincinnati. You know, I wish they would reach out and ask more questions ahead of the show so we could help them versus after the show, because it is a lot of groundwork. It is a lot of travel. It is a lot of time. It is a lot of expense. Being out there talking to people and making sure people trust you. If Landon would have started these shows by himself, there would have been no trust in anybody.
No.
You know, but me going to these shows for years, knowing the vendors and stuff, the people have the trust. Now they know Landon. So at this point, now there's trust with Landon because they know who he is. We go to shows and we'll buy toys, and people just can't understand the knowledge that he has out of stuff. When he sees it, knows what it is, and wants to buy it, you know, because he is young, you know. But age is not a thing when you've been doing this for 16 years, 15, 16 years, you know. Age is just a thing at that day, end of the day. You know, I've seen kids come up to our booth. I'm telling you what, I've seen kids come up and they know every single transformer there is. I can't even tell you I can't even tell you how to work half of them, and this kid knew every one of them by name, you know. So there's kids out there who know the future of this, yeah. And that's what we have to do is energize those kids to create shows and create shops and create, you know, want to be vendors to do this type of stuff. Otherwise, this stuff will not exist in the future, you know.
Absolutely. Awesome. Aaron, you got anything else you need to add?
I'm good, man.
Froze again.
You did.
Mine frozen. Okay.
Yeah,
so Lance, Landon, you got an open forum here right now. What would you like to promote? Shill away.
I think the big thing, being the Columbus folks that you guys are, come try out the new Columbus show on November 30th. Like I said, it's going to be a really good time. We've got an amazing venue, amazing lineup of vendors, and the attendees that are reaching out. They're ready to buy. They're ready to go. So see us November 30th at Polaris Fashion Place. All you have to do, just get to the fashion place, and then you just have to follow the signs from there. We're going to make it real easy that you can get in, get parked, and get shopping. So if you want to go back and see that game, or maybe, you know, you're later that day, if you're coming back from your Thanksgiving dinner that you had with your family, we want to make sure that you get in there and you get taken care of, like I said, at the Columbus show. So after that, go around Columbus, go see all the shops in Columbus. That's another thing that we're happy about is there's an economic impact. You know, for the fall show, I got the first hotel room that we've had for the Western Ohio Toy Show. That was new to me, that we were able to stay in a hotel room instead of at the venue. And I looked around the parking lot and I saw our vendors. So there's economic impact happening around there. So like I said, come try out the Columbus show, see what you think. Toys, comics, games, vintage, modern, everything you need, and go shop local.
Awesome.
Yeah, real quick, I'd like to just say that if anybody out of your guys' group that's social media that does comics, toys, whatever, if they want to reach out to us and they want to get into the show, just reach out to us, because we give out passes to social media people to get them in the show. We want them to see what's going on and put it out there, promote it, and let people know what's going on. And it builds the community. And real quick, tons of people I can't thank enough, but I don't want to get into all of them right now. But there's a group of guys out in Indianapolis, Dayton, Cincinnati, Columbus, Cleveland, hundreds of shops that we deal with. Those guys support us. Froggy Flips has been a great supporter of ours. You know, we were over his first show. Those guys are great. We have, like I say, several social media people coming that'll be there. And like I say, that's what we do. We want people to see what we do. And if something's not right, tell us. We'll try to fix it. We've done it before.
Awesome. And again, I have your website in the description, but where can people find you on social media?
So just go Facebook, Western Ohio Toy Show. Real simple. If you need to email us, contact at westernohiotoyshow.com. Real simple again. But that's where to find us. And we're happily posting on there more and more. You know, I'm trying to post some memes like you guys do. It hasn't gained the traction, but we're still trying. So find us on Western Ohio Toy Show on Facebook.
Awesome.
Awesome. Aaron, what do you want to promote?
Nothing to really promote outside of the White Gi Player 2 Ken should be shipping this week. So those invoices got sent out this evening right before the show. So get those taken care of so we can get those out to you at a timely manner. Also, hopefully Valorverse Series 2, A-Walk Wave
Series 5.
4, Series 5. I don't know. I'm watching TV.
Don't get them all excited.
Yeah. A-Walk Wave 4 should be hopefully shipping soon. And the Four Horsemen 2024 retail exclusives will be shipping to us for a Black Friday release.
Ooh, we will have them if there's any left.
There's any left. I'm sure there
at
will
the
be.
Polaris show. That's exciting. Awesome. Well, guys, if there's still any hella dope ornaments left, you're welcome to go grab some. I'm jacking up the price after midnight, so if you want it, get it now. Outside of that, next week we start the road to 100. December something or other is our
December
100th
29th.
episode. Thank you, Aaron. December 29th is our 100th episode. Next week starts 95. We're doing the road to 100, and 2 weeks from today, Lance and Landon, you'll probably want to check in because we're going to do a recap of the Western Ohio Toy Show and talk about our fun experience and all the stupid things that I did trying to set up, tear down, getting in
Yep.
poop lines, things like that. All that fun stuff. So, 2 weeks from now, we're going to have a little bit of a follow up on this. And yeah, Lance, Landon, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. You have been a world of insight, and hopefully some people got a better perspective of what you do. And as far as people who are trying to build and promote a business, you two sound like some of the most sincere guys to do it. You've won me over. So thank you guys so much for hanging out, and we will be back next week. Love you all. Goodbye.